Well, hello, all of my fellow YouTube enthusiasts, all people of great brain power. I am David. I am your tropical shirt wearing host for this live stream. We are the Philippine American couple, or you can just shorten it to PAC if you like. So, a lot of exciting things going on. Today is Wednesday, November the 15th. It is 9 a.m. here, of course. I always start at 9 a.m. It is currently, let me check the weather here. Here it is. Let me find the weather station. It is currently 47 degrees and sunny. So, it's going to be a beautiful day. It's supposed to be in the low 70s here, which is really nice for this time of the year. So, we're excited about that. And man, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about some stuff. And I need to get another drink. I've done that. Dennis, I see that you're here. Loves is out golfing, which is great. And golfing's a good activity if you like that such. Hang on one second. I got to get something to drink. So just look at my pretty back. I almost forgot my morning tea. Uh, I go through all of that work to have a good cup of morning tea, and I go and forget it. So let me get things organized here. How are you guys doing? If you have any thoughts, anything you'd like to share, please feel free to drop it in the comments. I've dropped the link to StreamYard there. If anybody would like to come up and chat today, you're more than welcome to. We like to talk about things. So, next week's Thanksgiving, by the way, here in the United States, if you didn't know. Today's Wednesday, so next, not tomorrow, Thursday, the Thursday after that, is our Thanksgiving here in the United States. We are getting ready for that. Lorelai told me last night we got to go shopping for food for Thanksgiving next week. And, ooh, that's a pretty good buy. We are apparently going to have a Filipino type Thanksgiving. So they're going to make a bunch of Filipino food because me being the oddball American, there's only one of me. So I get outvoted, but that's okay because I am not a huge fan of traditional Thanksgiving food. Just not a big fan of it. You know, I like turkey sandwiches. The only thing I really like is the dressing and gravy. If it's done well, you know, a good dressing or stuffing, depending on your part of the world where you're from. So I do like dressing. I of course like mashed potatoes and gravy, but you can get that any day of the year. So I don't like turkey that much. I hate cranberry sauce. I think that's disgusting. I think sweet potatoes and sweet potato pie and sweet potatoes with mushrooms or not mushrooms, marshmallows is disgusting. So when we want to do no American foods for Thanksgiving, I am perfectly okay with that. Lorelai said she wants to cook a turkey though, just so that it looks a little bit like Thanksgiving. So we're going to go buy a small turkey or a big chicken, one of the two. I don't know what she's going to do, but that's what we're going to do. We're going to buy that, and I think they're going to make the other folks that are coming are are going to be making sushi bake, and which I've never had sushi bake. I love sushi, but sushi bake just seems like cooked fish and rice. I don't know about that dish, but I don't know enough about it. So somebody else, I don't know what they're bringing, but that's our big Thanksgiving plan next week. Is for that. What are you guys doing for Thanksgiving? What is your favorite food for Thanksgiving? Leave me a comment and let me know what your favorite food is for Thanksgiving. I mean, growing up, here in the United States, when my grandparents were alive, we always went every holiday to their house, very traditional. And we'd have the very traditional, the rolls, sometimes crescent rolls, and then the pies and we had all the fixings. And I think it's good food. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I think when you get older, and if you don't have, I think why. I guess that's part of what my point is about this. By the way, happy Thanksgiving to everybody. That if you're not doing a big traditional Thanksgiving meal with family and everybody's getting together, it kind of takes away from what the food of the meal is. Because, we don't have any kids. We just have a few friends that are going to come over. There's no reason to go through all the rigmarole of a big fancy production just for us to, have lunch with three or four other people. And I think part of the lure or the excitement about Thanksgiving dinner is just, wow, mom and dad's coming, brothers, sisters coming, nieces and nephews are coming, this relative's making her traditional crappy dish that she always makes that we all hate, but we got to pretend we like it, because it hurts her feelings otherwise. I mean, we got a family member years ago that would make these horrible, horrible cheesecake pies that are just disgusting. But everybody told her how great they were, but they're disgusting. I mean, just nasty, disgusting. They're not real cheesecake. They're just a weird cheesecake flavored pie. Just disgusting. But, so you got to do that. You got to, and I really do think that's part of the excitement about Thanksgiving. Christmas, Hey, Joe, how are you? Joe, let me bring you up here. We're talking a little bit about Thanksgiving, then we're going to talk about some other stuff. Joe's in the house. Joe, how are you today?
Morning, everybody.
Are you awake?
Just woke up.
Well, we got like seven people in the background, or yeah, six, seven. So I don't know why everybody's hiding, but I'm glad you came up. How are you?
Not too bad. Just
How's
trying to stay busy.
Yeah, man. I was telling everybody we got to go grocery shopping later for next week for Thanksgiving. And asked Lorelai last night. I said, "Well, why do we got to go now? Why don't we just go next week?" Oh no, it's going to be too busy over the weekend because I guess of Black Friday or the sales or this and that. So we got to go either tonight or tomorrow night and pick up the groceries for Thanksgiving. What are you going to do for Thanksgiving? What is your favorite Thanksgiving food?
Uh, Turkey, of course, but normally it's turkey and mashed taters and apple pie.
Yeah, I was telling you, Joe, for me, I don't really like Thanksgiving food. I mean, of course, mashed potatoes and gravy is always a staple in the United States, and we love it. But the cranberry sauce and sweet potatoes and all that kind of weird crap just doesn't do it for me. I do like a very, very good quality dressing or stuffing. So we're doing nothing but Filipino food and a turkey, I guess. Lorelai said she had to cook a little turkey. So we're doing a more of a Filipino. They're making something, something, and something. I don't know what they're making. So that's what we're doing. But I think, Joe, and see if you echo this, is part of the allure of a Thanksgiving dinner is not necessarily the food, because it's not the greatest food. It's not like a turkey is the greatest bird in the world. You know what I mean? It's not like it's
Right.
a beef Wellington. It's not like it's, I think the lore why everybody loves Thanksgiving is one, they get to overeat like crazy. You know what I mean? And two, it's because of the family gathering. It's because people get to go, oh, we're going to go see grandma, or mom and dad's coming, or nieces and nephews are coming. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's more of the family gathering.
Yeah. Hello, Miss Pisces. We thank you for being here. We are doing great. Joe is here. Dennis is in the background. We are here. How are you? Oh, um, Joe and I are doing great. Joe just woke up a little bit ago, so he's doing good. Our Kiko, our good friend, is out golfing this morning, and well, you haven't missed anything. You're here and there, and we thank you for that. And we appreciate your live streams and all you do too. So we're talking a little bit about Thanksgiving this week, and then we're also going to talk about some Philippine uh, stuff, some stuff about the Philippines. So hearing from you guys would be really good to talk a little bit more about this. So oh, and remember, if any of you Filipinas know single Filipina without children who would like to meet or talk to an American, not me because I'm married, we do know a few out there. So, but yeah, we Joe and I were talking about Thanksgiving because in the Philippines you guys don't do Thanksgiving, so and most countries don't because it's a American holiday, and whether you believe it or not, you know, I mean, if you look at the history of Thanksgiving, it could be a bunch of sham. It could just be made up crap, but it has a good meaning behind it. And I think that most people get excited about Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's food is because you associate the food with warm and fuzzy time spending with family. And I think Joe agrees with me, right?
Oh yeah.
Because it's really not about the food, is it?
No, it's all about the family gathering. Family getting together. Sometimes the family doesn't get together until around Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah, so maybe once or twice a year, maybe I think 4th of July for a few of them. But and I guess I don't get excited about Thanksgiving anymore because my grandparents are dead, and that's who we used to go to. You know what I mean? So the in my world, my family, my world, where we would go to went to wedding, and so we don't have any more family. So therefore, we don't really get excited about it. So let's see here. Joe, Mrs. is saying that she is very nice to meet you, the other host. That's you, Joe.
Nice to meet you as well. Sorry I
Are you?
can't read the comments because I'm on my phone.
Yeah. Are you connected with her by any chance? Do you know her? If not,
I don't think so.
I think she's an OFW. I don't remember which country she was in, but I know I'm pretty sure positive that she's an OFW. So my wife is a what would my wife be? Not an OFW, overseas foreign worker. I guess mine's just a AW, American worker. That's right. So she's in Kuwait. That's right. Because I know like Timmy's story is in Malaysia, if I remember right. So, Miss, we have a lot of different overseas workers that we all know, and so sometimes we kind of forget which country they are from. But yeah, Kuwait. How do you like being in Kuwait? Are you excited to be there? Do you like it? You can tell us the truth now. You can tell. I know you got to be careful, but you can tell us the truth. So what? So Joe, you told us what food you like the best for Thanksgiving. Which one do you hate the most?
There really isn't one. But then again, I really don't do much on Thanksgiving. I haven't in years.
I think my least favorite Thanksgiving and Christmas food is cranberry sauce. I think that's disgusting. I just, I just can't do cranberry sauce. Even if one thing it makes me think of dog food because, it's in the aluminum can, right? And so when you pop it out, unless you home make it, it comes out looking like the impression of the aluminum can, right? Looks like dog food. And then you squish it up to make it not look like dog food. And then it looks more like dog food. So I just don't like it. Um, the miss is saying that she does not like Kuwait. May we ask you, what about Kuwait that you do not like? Is it the people, the heat, the sand, the how strict it is? Because I would probably have problems in Kuwait with how strict it is. Because I'm not very good at following rules and behavior. Oh, see, look at that. She's sucking up. You're such an amazing pack. Thank you so much. Well, I know I'm amazing. Joe knows I'm amazing. Ain't that right, Joe?
You say so.
Oh, so she says the problem is the people and her boss. And, you know, on a serious note, I think adapting to other people's personalities is one of the hardest things you have to do, especially when you're in a suburban, not a suburban, what's the word I'm looking for? Submissive role, employee, employer. I think because you got to take a lot of shit. You got to suck your pride up and you got to shut your mouth and you got to just go with the garbage that's given to you because they're giving you a paycheck. And I hate that. And I have a real problem with that. And I had a real problem with that for all my years in education. So I'm with you there. Dennis is in the house. Everybody say hello to Dennis. He's inviting you to come to Canada. So you can come to Canada and he'll take care of you. He's a good guy. The amazing Joe, she says, Joe, she says that you're amazing too. Not as amazing as me, but amazing too. Dennis, I dropped the link there, the StreamYard link. If you got time and want to come up, I'll pop it again. Same thing with you, Miss. The link is there. You guys, I got a lot of room here, so you guys are welcome to come up on the panel if you got the time. Miss is saying hello to you, Dennis. Dennis is in Canada, if you didn't know that. So he's one of those connect. Is it connect or Canucks?
Canucks.
He's one of those guys that live in an igloo half of the year because it's so cold up there. Yeah, I agree with you, Miss. You know what she's saying is if it was easy to come to another country, she sure the hell would. Now, Canada, from what I understand, it's not that difficult, to be honest. I don't think it's that difficult as an OFW to get to Canada compared like the United States. So just keep that in mind, I thought.
Oh, it's going to be much easier to get into Canada than here.
Much easier than in Canada. Yeah, so she's going to, soon next year, I will be finishing up here, then apply to, good girl, good for you. She wants to come up, if I come up, come up and sing us a song. And thank you for giving us a thumbs up and shouting out. That's great. Dennis, we appreciate the thumbs up too, my friend. Yeah, if you want to come up and sing us a song, we'll listen to you. Now, we'll be honest, brutally honest. I might scare you off. Dennis will be honest with you, won't you, Dennis? But I don't blame you. We know a lot of, like I said, we know a lot of OFWs, and some of them have it really, really well. And some of them are very blessed where they're at. Their boss, pays for the tickets and the medical and allows them to go back and forth and all of that mess. Don't worry about the copyright issue. If it happens, it happens. We don't worry too much about that. We are way past needing hours or anything like that. We've been monetized a very, very long time, so I don't worry about. I say what I want to say. I do what I want to do on my live streams. But we agree with you. You should definitely find another place, another country. Dennis would encourage you to come to Canada. Now, the only thing about Canada is you're gonna be cold, very cold. So in Kuwait, you're hot. Canada, you're cold. So that's going to be one of the problems. So what I wanted to talk a little bit about, you guys, let's talk about this. Was I've been doing some research about all the hating that's going on. All right, come on up. I've dropped you the link, so you're welcome to come up and we'll listen to you. So there's apparently, and we probably all know this, but I've been doing some research and reading about the increase in Asian hate. Now, right now, a lot of that, Dennis, the Miss is wanting to know if you would like for her to come. You mean come up on the panel or come to Canada? Which one? He would be happy with both. So what we've been talking or looking at was Asian hate. Why do we think Asian hate is increasing? And I was telling somebody the other day who was asking me this question. I don't know, because right now in America, we're going through this whole Israel hate and Palestine. Nobody's hating on Palestine, but people are hating on Israel for defending themselves. And I started thinking about this, and I think people are showing more hate just because they can. It has nothing to do with any, especially the young people, Joe. Young people haven't experienced enough in life to hate the Israelis or to hate the Palestinians or hate Asians or to hate anybody. They just get wrapped up in a movement, what they think is cool because their buddies are doing it, and it kind of swells from there. What do you think, Joe? Do you think I have any merit in my statement?
Oh yeah, you got some real good merit there because I've been posting videos on my TikTok. Stop Asian hate.
Mm.
Um, yeah, people. I got Facebook and I've got my TikTok. Then I got this here too, all under the same name. But that is, you want to follow me, no biggie. Yeah, we can get people to stop hating on each other and get this world the way it used to be. It'd be much better.
Well, Joe, I agree with you, and I think from an analytical standpoint, me being me and how I think and how I analyze things, I actually think what we have to do is give young people, because I think younger people in the early 20s and in their later teenage, high school, early college, are the ones that drives a lot of the hate in America because they have nothing better to do. They haven't suffered at the hands of a war. They haven't had to go to service. They haven't had to work very hard to make a good living in America. They haven't had it hard. So they have idle, what do they say? Idle hands is the devil's work. And in this case, I
Right.
actually think the idle hands, the fact that young people haven't had any real experience Here's the problem. And I think if we could ever figure out how to get young people to understand there's a bigger picture to their actions. Oh,
True.
you need a moderator jacket? Okay, let me figure out how to do that. I'm sorry. I'm not very smart.
Yeah. I didn't
Um,
know if we have any moderators in there or not. So I'm coming in with my tablet.
there you go. All right. I made you a moderator. There. Yeah. That's part of the problem. I'm not very smart on this YouTube stuff. So it's kind of like, I think this is about the same thing with all the, because I saw some videos from some people that are transgender who are my age and older. And they look at what's happening in their world today shamefully because they think there's so many people jumping on the bandwagon just because they don't have anything better to do. So there's a lot of them, the older ones, that think in 20 years you're going to have a huge population of 30 and 40-year-olds going, "What in the hell did I do when I was 18? I didn't want to be this." Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think it's going to be the same thing when it comes to Asian hate, Israeli hate, and any other hate. Hopefully, and when they reach adulthood and they're in their 30s and their 40s and they're working and having a family, they will be able to reflect upon um, what. Yeah, I think I lost you, Joe. There you go.
I'm
All right, you there? All right, Joe's there. Well, hello,
I'm
Miss. How
still here.
are you? Can you hear us, young lady? I think
Come
she's.
stuck.
I think maybe she's still mic'd or unmiked or whatever it's called, muted.
Muted.
Ooh, Dennis is wanting your contact information. You can probably put it in the private chat.
Hello, hello.
Hello, how are you?
Thank you for giving me moderator. Thank you so much.
Oh, you bet. I don't even know if Dennis has a moderator, so you're blessed.
It's okay, it's okay. You're so
Dennis is
very nice.
wanting to check you out. I can tell. Dennis says, "What is your contact information?" Woohoo!
Contact information. What do you want, Dennis? Number or something? Hi, Joe. Hi.
Come stuck.
Okay lang. You know how to speak Tagalog?
Very little.
Oh, that's good. Host is help a lot because his wife is a Filipino.
She,
That's
she,
how
Yeah.
Laura.
very busy.
I think you got some reverb going on, Joe, but I think Lorelai speaks primarily Visayan, but she does speak a little Tagalog.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, Dennis says I have a sweet voice. Thank you, Dennis.
Oh, really? Thank
Man,
you so much. Like, actually, I am at work, but I just need to, if my boss will call, automatically.
no, Dennis says I have a sweet voice. He didn't say you. Come on. All he says is what a sweet voice, and since I'm the host, it has to be me, right?
Host the one is host has a sweet voice.
Yeah. See, Dennis likes my voice. Dennis is
Oh
a
my
good guy.
god.
He is. He is a good guy. And we have a couple other friends that are always interested in meeting the right Filipino. So, you know,
That's good. I'm so sorry. Like, I was messed some of your live streams because I was so busy.
that's okay. I don't
Thank
worry
you.
about it. You know. See, Dennis is flirting with me.
Thank you so much. I'm just looking your lives, but some other are your end. Like I don't know what do you call that in English. Hindi ako umaabot. It's Tagalog.
But, as I tell my wife, and her and I converse over things, can you give me a few more descriptive words, and then I can figure out what you mean?
It's
That's what I was saying.
like when you end, like if you are going to live, like I just really waiting your live, but when I see it, you already end. What do you call that?
Like a notification?
Yeah, yeah, in my notification, like, oh, he's already end.
Huh.
So I cannot go your live just now. Just it's a timing.
It is. And that's the way it is for a lot of people. I mean, luckily, every Wednesday at 9 a.m. this time, I do a live stream.
Yeah, yeah. Now it's just now I am free a little bit. I'm wearing my mask because I have a guest.
Oh, good. Well, Dennis wants to know how he can chat with you.
Oh my God, genius.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. If you want me, just I have a Facebook in my description. I have under.
Go go to her about Dennis.
So she has a YouTube channel. She has her own YouTube channel, Dennis. So you can go to her, what we're saying, right? You can go to her YouTube channel and then click on her Facebook link, right?
Yeah,
Is that,
I was there.
yeah.
Are you sure are you going gonna sing? Maybe copyrighted this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead and
Are you
sing. I'll
sure?
mute.
It's all right.
Okay, okay. I will try, but I don't know if you like.
We'll find out, won't we?
I am not a good singer, but it was I love to sing. Okay, this is for you guys, Joe and Dennis, and the people there that who loves BAC. Thank you so much. I hope someday I can see your wife in your live. Say hello. Do they have a music? It's stay alive. I want to be a day to keep the best of me. I'm only one, but not alone. My finest day is yet to known. I broke my heart for every gain. To taste the sweet, I face the pain. I rise and fall, yet through it all, this much remains. I want one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are heart beats away, and the answers are all up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. Then, and that one moment of time, I will feel eternity. I've lived to be the very best. I want it all, no time for less. I've laid the plans, now lay the chance here in my hands. Give me time. When I'm more than I thought I could be. When all of my dreams are a heartbeat away, and the answers are not up to me. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny, and in that one moment of time I will feel eternity. You're a winner for a lifetime. If you says that one moment in time, make it shine. Give me one moment in time when I'm more than I thought I could be. Give me one moment in time when I'm racing with destiny. Then in that one moment of time I will be free. Oh my god, my boss was gone. I will come back. Wait, I will come back. Sorry. Wait.
Bravo.
Excellent. Excelente. Excelente. Yeah, we got 12 people watching. Wow, you did a great job. Everybody give her a round of applause. Man, that's good stuff. Now, Dennis is already in love with you, so you better watch out. And, yeah. Joe, did you shout us out? We appreciate that. One thing I'm going to say is, you guys all know my wife, Lorelai. She's probably the best wife in the entire world. The prettiest Filipina that ever came out of the Philippines, because obviously Philippines, you know. But one thing is, she cannot sing a lick. I think she can, but karaoke time at my house is not a good time. So, everyone making comments.
Yeah,
Nice. Go ahead, Joe.
just the other day I was telling Jeannie when she was trying to sing, "You trying to sing me to sleep, honey?"
He's trying to. I told her like, "You're trying to run me out of the house." You know, what are we here? Dying cats. But it is interesting, and I think we all know this, that it does seem like proportionally Filipinas can sing well. So I don't know what numbers would be, but let's say if you took American women and 50% of them could sing well, I think if you took the Asian women population, it would be like 85 or 90% of them could sing well. Now, I don't think 50% of American women can sing. I think it's more around 5%. But you get my point.
I'd give it maybe 2%.
Yeah, but the Filipinos really do to be able to seem to embrace that. And I'll go as far further to say, I think it's because they have a happier spirit. So they sing better, if that makes sense. Well, sure, you can chat with her. You can come up on the panel, Dennis, and you can chat right here. But
Yeah, well, Dave and I will mute. Let you two have the stage.
or I'll help facilitate, get you guys to talking. But Joe and I both dropped her Facebook, her YouTube link. Dennis, we both dropped it if you want to check it out and go that way. So, but yeah, I'm sure she'd be happy to chat with you.
Yeah, I went over and checked the two channels that came in, and they're both support channels.
Okay.
The one that was that first came in, that was up top.
Yeah.
Scroll back up, check that one. That was the support channel. Then Dennis is another support channel.
Yes. Yeah.
No content. So
Yes. Dennis says he's got to go to a meeting soon. That's why he's so desperate to figure out how to chat with you because he's going to have to go to a meeting. But that's all right. Just reach out to her. I'm sure if you go to her YouTube channel, find her, click, and do all of that stuff, and just find her Facebook page, you can hook up with her through that way, Dennis. So, but we appreciate the singing this morning. We do. It changes our demeanor from talking about hate to talking about something else. So, one thing Joe, I don't know if you've been keeping up with some news out in the Philippines, but I try to keep up with some news. And where did it go? I want to share something with you, see what you think of it. Uh-oh.
well, there is another typhoon blowing in on them, heading towards the Cebu area.
Uh-oh. Let me see.
If you didn't know that already.
No, I didn't know that. I haven't been checking the weather. I've been kind of reading the political news. And
I don't watch the political.
I don't think she's married. Maybe she's married. I don't know if she's married or not. I thought she said that. I think she's single. All right, Dennis, we will, man. You have a good, safe day up there in the land of the cold people.
Have a great day up there in the great land of the white.
Where did this article go? Ah, something I found interesting, and this is from about California, and it pertains to the Philippine population in California because what the state of California has done is said they have announced back in May of 2022, so over a year ago, that the health coverage for low income families is extending the eligibility for full coverage regardless of immigration status. So no matter if you're illegal or not, so this is what it's in the Philippines. So for the illegal Filipinos or Filipinas, they can now, starting about a year ago, get free health insurance in California.
That seems to be the way we're going now, even for the illegals here.
Yeah. Do you think
It's making it harder. It's making it harder on the rest of us.
Yeah. Now, Joe, we've talked, and I got many videos about this, and I talk about I don't think you should be rewarded for breaking the law. So if you come to, because a lot of us guys who are married and our wives are here, we went through all the expense, hard work, jumped through the hoops, expose our financial records to the government so that our wives can be here legally. So I'm still one of those people that believe that if you break the law to get here, then you shouldn't get any benefits.
Yeah, that's why I'm doing what I'm doing with Jenny. We're trying to do it the legal way,
That's right.
not the illegal way.
That's right. You got to do it legally. Our governor here in Arkansas has even done some things now where we're kicking a Chinese-based company out of the state of Arkansas. We're also made it illegal. She made it illegal, and I don't disagree or agree. But she also made it illegal to use. I don't know how to describe these words, but you either have to choose in legal documents for the state of Arkansas. It's either male or female, men or women. It's not um, whatever they call whatever. So it's either one or the other. I mean, it's very strict in the language. So you can't be putting on non-binary, blah 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 blah, in a legal document in the state of Arkansas. So she's actually forcing the issue on that, and going, look, when we do legal documents in Arkansas, you got to clearly state, we're not getting into this whole WOF garbage. So that's what's happening in Arkansas. But there's no way the state of Arkansas would ever get health insurance through illegals.
Right.
So, and they're kicking the company, the Chinese company, out because it's a research company, and it has direct ties to the communist Chinese government. So they have about 18 more months to go before they have to vacate Arkansas, and they have to give up their land. They have to sell their land because they bought land here. So it's just
I think that's the same thing here in Missouri, though.
It could be. I just think it's, and I talked about this because I was telling a friend the other day, he was over, and I told him, I said, we're actually thinking about, instead of purchasing more land, we're thinking about buying a house and a lot, a lot with a house already built on it, because we already have vacant land, so that we can turn it into rental property or Lorelei, because, she's the primary owner, and all I have is spousal rights. So I actually like how a lot of foreign countries do some of that stuff, where they actually say, look, the property here is the Philippines. This is ours. We're not just going to give our property away to foreign entities, individuals, or corporations or governments. Here in America, it seems like as long as somebody will pay for it, we'll give it to you.
Right. Yeah, we've got 9 still in the house there, Dave, and nobody's commenting. So that's why I made that comment. Everyone make a comment so you can be recognized.
Yeah, we get a lot of people hanging out in the background. I think, and the weird thing, Joe, is also we get a lot of people after my live streams going back and are watching the live stream and making comments later. So, yeah, so, it is what it is. But there's the other big thing going on in the news right now, Joe, is we're talking about the Filipinos in Israel who need to be evacuated. So they're working on that apparently, and that's been in the news lately too, from the PhilippineStar.com. So
Yeah, one of our friends that's out there in Israel right now.
yeah,
They
never heard.
do you know who it is?
Yeah, I
You've seen
remember.
her on a few other live streams.
Yeah,
The Philippine government wants her to take a class to repatronize.
really. They want her to So is she an Israeli citizen then?
She's been outside the country long enough, I guess. I don't know. I don't even think she's an Israeli citizen.
Yeah, because if she didn't give up her citizenship, it's like here in America. If you give up your U.S. citizenship and you want it back, then you got to go through the hoops as of anybody else. So you got to jump through those hoops and take those exams. But it's like, when Lorelai became a dual citizen and all that, she didn't have to do anything but do all the paperwork. So that's interesting. You know, that is interesting. Why they would want her to take a course, a class, or a seminar. Because when a lot of when the Filipinos come here, and from a K-1 visa standpoint, those type of things, and or even from a worker standpoint, an OFW standpoint to America, the teachers, the nurses, they go through a seminar about what America is going to be like. The fiancés go through a seminar wanting being explained to them their rights in America, such as, look, you don't got to tolerate your husband beating you. You don't got to do that. You know what I mean? So they go through seminars about that, but I've never heard of a repatriation seminar in the Philippines.
It's the first I've heard of it myself, but I'm I'm going by what I'm
No, I'm
hearing
with,
from.
oh, I don't doubt you. I just, me, I always love, to understand, um, you know, for Philippine citizens. I'm going to Google it. I just love learning new things. Let's see if anything comes up. The reunification of Philippine citizen is a voluntary act of giving up, acquiring for a Philippine citizen. Let's see if we can see. I'm looking at the consulate website. Reunification of Philippine citizens is a voluntary act of giving up your Philippine citizenship after acquiring a foreign citizen. Yeah, okay, then we got to get it back. Because that's what Lorelai did.
Right.
Identification, set up an appointment, take the oath. See, that's all Lorelai have to do. Yeah, see what it says. And this, maybe it's because she's been out so long. I don't know. But basically, you set up an appointment, you do the online payment, you proceed to the consulate and take your oath, and then your step 5 is to get all the documentation to you. Huh. But anyway, I think
Because of
it's
I think what it's stemming from, Dave, is the war that's going on in Israel right now. That they're trying to recall all the citizens.
well, they're trying to get them out of Israel for sure, because
Another another thing is she didn't go out on the voluntary. She didn't leave Israel on the voluntary
right,
as a volunteer. She stayed there. So now they're wanting her to take a repatriate, going back through the entire process. I don't know. I don't know
yeah,
how that goes.
yeah, it's all right. I'm reading it. So what it says here in this article from the Philippine Star, aside from the 3 batches of over 60 overseas Filipino workers, OFWs, who have arrived from Israel, 120 are still expected to come home. According to the Department of Migrant Workers, DMW, officer in charge, Hans Kadek, we still have more or less than 120 requests for repatriation. He said in a radio interview, and the Philippine government is already processing the paperwork. When I say processing, I mean calling them, the individuals, calling them 3 times and making sure that they really want to go home. So they've called them 3 times to verify that they want to come home. Half of those who requested to repatriate assistance have already finished their employment contracts and are scheduled to return home when hostilities in the Gaza Strip broke out, but they got stuck. The government is ensuring that OFWs will be on good terms with their employers and will have the option to return when the situation is resolved. Most of them are caregivers, what this says.
Yeah, 90% of our OFW
Yeah, caregivers.
friends are all caregivers.
Yeah. He said, let's see, however, the number of those seeking repatriation is expected to increase. The returning OFWs will receive a one-time 50,000 peso grant, as well as other assistance, including livelihood, reemployment verification, and skills retooling, so retraining. At this time, the Philippine government continues to locate the remaining 2 Filipino caregivers unaccounted for. So at this point in time, we got 2 Filipinos that are missing in Israel. They don't know if they're dead or alive. They don't know. In Gaza,
Right.
he said there are, in the Gaza Strip part, there are 137 Filipinos who are wanting to return to the Philippines. That's where the battle is going on at, is in the Gaza Strip. But he says that they are not OFWs. So the ones in the Gaza Strip are not. But the Filipinos married to Palestinians, nationals, he said they would be repatriated as soon as they are able to cross from Gaza to Egypt. So apparently, the spouses of Palestinians who are Filipina want to go back to the Philippines, which only makes sense since war has broken out.
Right.
So here's another one. The DMW official says the government is also in the process of repatriating Filipinos from Lebanon, although they still do not have the actual numbers of OFWs returning home from Lebanon. The Department of Foreign Affairs, the DFA, reported there were more than 17,000 Filipinos in Lebanon. Holy crap. But migrant counselor Manny something said the figure could be higher since there are many Filipinos who entered Lebanon illegally. I wonder why they do that. The local government.
Actually, what could have happened there, Dave, is their contract ended. They never got their passport back from their ex-employer,
Yeah, that happens.
and that put them on the street, which makes them illegal.
Yeah. Yeah, I think if I was an OFW, Lebanon would not be somewhere I would want to go to be an OFW.
From what I understand, now this could be false information. I don't know, but they're recalling almost all the Filipinos from the Middle East.
Well, what they're doing is giving them all a chance to come home for sure. So I guess if you didn't want to come home, you don't have to. But yes, they are actively seeking Filipinas over in this area and trying to get them to come back to the States, whether they're married or OFWs. So apparently, the local government, Cadiz City, Negros Occidental, will be naming the newly built evacuation center in honor of slain Negress caregiver Loretta Alcar, who showed heroism in the face of the attack staged by Hamas militants in Israel. May or Saudi said, okay. Apparently, and I don't know, I'm going to have to Google this story. Maybe I'll talk about it sometime. Apparently, there was a Filipina in Israel when this happened who apparently sacrificed herself and saved some lives. So the
That's what
newly go ahead, Joe.
that's what it sounds like, and I would applaud that you did that.
Yeah, I agree. The newly built evacuation center at her by her old high school will be named in her honor. She was a school alumni, of course. She's been in OFW for 19 years. This was relayed Overseas Workers Welfare Administration, who visited Loretta's wake, the family residence. Okay. Let me see. I'm trying to see if it says anything about what happened. Wow. So after the mass, somebody, Ingratius, and the DNW turned over 50,000 pesos each financial assistance to the family of the slain OFW. Aside from the financial assistance, the Department of Social Welfare and Development, as well as livelihood package from the Development of Labor and Environment. So they're trying to take care of the family. So aside from the OWWA's payment of 104,000 of funeral expenses for Loretta, so it also is providing scholarship grants to her 4 nephews and nieces whose education had been financed while she was alive. So they're going to finish financing and paying for the nieces and nephews that this OFW was supporting when she was killed in Israel.
Right.
They're also looking for possibilities of employment for the youngest sister, her brother, in city government. Pretty interesting, right?
Oh yeah, very interesting.
So it doesn't say what she did. I'm going to try to Google her name, Joe.
Oh, I got a call.
Okay. Let me see if I can find this girl's name again. Here it is. Let's see if we can find this lady's name. I'm going to do some Googling. See if we can find her story of what happened to her in Israel. Let's see if we can find. Here it is. All right. So I'll just tell you guys, I found Thank you, Mrs. We appreciate you. We appreciate you very much. Maybe Dennis will connect with you. Who knows? So no worries. Happy to have you. I'm going to tell everybody about Loretta. She's a 49-year-old Filipino caregiver living in Israel. Was murdered by the Hamas terrorists near Gaza on October the 7th. Her remains arrived home in Cadiz City on October the 22nd, more than 2 weeks after she was killed. State-run Philippine news agency said that I think her last name's Alker, had been working as a caregiver in Israel for about 15 years and was stated to visit home this December to celebrate her 50th birthday. PNA said that she had been attending she was one of the ones at the Supernova music festival when she was murdered, although the family member later disputed this report. We love Loretta very much, and she was very kind to all of us, her sister, Annabella said. I'm very angry at the people who did this to her and would still be with us today if they had spared her. She was generous to her family and was sending her nephews and nieces to school. She also paid for the hospital bills and birthdays, weddings, and baptisms of all the family members. That Noman Solomon, who wrote on Facebook that she had been my devoted caregiver for the last 6 years, describing her as my beloved and dear Lori, and inspirational part of my family. But it doesn't say how she was killed. It doesn't say how she was killed. So I'm still trying to find that. Wow, 15 years. Let's back up and see if I can figure out how she was killed. Sure, there has to be more to the story. Yeah, she was a OFW miss for 15 years. Now, yeah, Dennis was speculating that you might be married. I told him I thought you were single. So, Dennis, I'll make sure Dennis knows that you're single mom. If that kind of makes sense. That's kind of a tongue twister. So I'll make sure that he knows that you're single. Separated for 5 years. So were you, I guess Dennis's question, Miss, might be, are you single and able to get married? Because what we find a lot of times, which is a hamper to us foreigners, is a lot of the girls get married at a young age, not realizing that they're stuck in the Philippines forever because, the Philippines don't believe in divorce, or it's not legal for divorce. And the annulments are so hard to get. And so a lot of guys goes, oh, so is she single or is she truly never been married? That's kind of probably his question would be, have you ever been married? Which means from us as a foreigner standpoint, if we dated you and did all of that, could we bring you to our home country? So you were married at 23, but you did get a divorce. But divorce and annulment is hard to do. That's right. So you're married but separated. So, and this is where Ms. I talk about. I got a couple of friends that doesn't want to bring somebody to America. They want to go and retire in the Philippines. And I've told them, I said, people like you, because they don't mind children and they want a good person, that if they truly want to go live in the Philippines, then meeting somebody like you, and I'm going to send your Facebook link to somebody else later too. But the guys that don't want to bring you to their home country, because under the K-1 visa process, of course, you have to be divorced. And sometimes an annulment, from everything we've learned here in America, I don't know about Canada, but in America, because Dennis is Canadian. Well, it's right. And it's sad, Miss. I mean, it really is. This is something that this is something that I've talked to so many people about, that the worst thing that the Philippine government does to its citizens is not believe in divorce or not allow divorce, because there's so many of you wonderful women who would make great wives, who there are so many men out here that would love to have you and be more than happy to raise your child and to take care of you. But just because they're stuck on the whole marriage thing, you guys have to suffer. So that is something, one of the first questions that come up. You know, I know you're single, but are you available to get married? And when guys realize, the guys that want you to come to Canada or the United States or Australia, they realize that no matter what they do, even if it may cost them 25 and 30,000 USD dollars to get your annulment, they just can't do that. You know, financially, that's a huge burden to go through the annulment process. I just wish that somehow, some way, the Philippine government, grassroots movement, can convince the government to change the ruling on that. And what if they say something like, okay, if you got proof that you haven't seen your husband in 5 years or 3 years, he's abandoned you, then that is grounds for divorce. The professor is in the house. Come on up, my friend. Good to see you. How are you?
Chilling like a villain, waiting on some prescriptions.
Nice, nice. So we're actually talking, hey, Ronald, we're actually talking to Miss about the divorce situation in the Philippines and about the single girls, because she's single, looking for a guy, but unfortunately, when she was a younger lady, she got married in the Philippines. So, and I was telling her that most of us foreign men, we don't have a problem with a divorced woman. We don't have a problem with them having kids. The hang up, which is not good for them, is that they can't come to our country.
Nope.
Because of the K-1 visa stipulates that you have to be eligible to get married in America. And you can't be married somewhere else and be eligible. So, and an annulment costs so much money that a lot of guys can't do that. Because Dennis was crushing on the Miss earlier. Her singing, he fell in love again. So, but she's ready to locate. But I was telling her that what we have to do is find those guys that want to retire in the Philippines, and then your previous marriage is not an issue, because let's say if you or I retired in the Philippines, we wouldn't be worried whether she was married or not, because we could just live with them forever, right?
That's the plan.
So,
Because right now, what in the ham sandwich? How is this possible?
it's possible because you're here, man.
Yeah, but I logged into StreamYard and I got another browser here that says Enter Studio.
I don't know. I see it.
I'm going to close it. I don't know what that was. Baconator. Well, Miss Pisces. It's really
She
going.
is. And she is saying hello to you.
I know.
So
I should
she
say,
blessed us. She blessed us with a song earlier, and that
um,
made Dennis fall in love with her.
mm,
So,
well,
but
she can call me. She can call me Blackie Owl.
that's right. You know, but so, and she's over in Kuwait right now. As I
Oh
know what
Lord, no.
is where she's at. She's over in Kuwait.
Mm, mm, mm.
So, how are your legs doing?
Still swollen. I've got to work on them lymph nodes to get some of this fluid out. I've got some medications coming.
Okay.
Other than that, the stitches is out. The leg is healing. It's just swollen.
Are you doing compression garments and things to help push the
No,
fluid out?
the compression socks won't help. It just pushes it all up into the thigh, and then the leg is looking like a ham hock. So I ain't gonna do that. Matter of fact, I'm not even wearing any socks because any socks I put on
Yeah.
squeezes it and then pushes it up to the calf, and then the calf is like super tight. It's like now it's like a little Bill Slugger.
She says that her singing wasn't any good, but I think it was just fine. Her singing was good enough to make Dennis fall in love with her. So there you go.
Oh, Dennis ain't acting like Gary is. He's just jumping on everything.
Yeah.
Don't do it, Baconator. I'm
I haven't
surprised.
heard from Barry in a while, so hopefully he's doing all right.
Well, me too. I ain't heard from Tony. He should be here.
No, he's in bed, and Nico is playing golf this morning.
Kiko playing golf.
Yeah, Kiko's playing golf.
Must be nice weather in Pennsylvania.
Jack said he was not sober enough to come up. So, and Anthony's in bed.
Mm.
The miss is wanting to know if we know how old Dennis is. Dennis 60-ish? How do you think Dennis is?
Dennis is 67, 68.
Yeah. So he's a little bit older than Ronald and I because we're both young. And has he been married before? I think he has. I know he's been in and out of long distance relationships.
And
So,
rehab.
huh?
And rehab.
So I think I'm sure he probably has been married, but I do think he's been in and out. He's a good guy. Age really doesn't matter, you know. And we all feel bad because Ronald loves Filipino women just as much as I love my wife. He loves all Filipino women because he's single, and it's just a shame that the Philippine government won't allow for divorce, so all of you wonderful women can get on with your lives. You know what I mean, Ronald? Isn't that just asinine? Why the Philippine government won't do that?
Mm-hmm. I don't get it either. Got a whole lot to do with the Catholic Church taking those vows and the eyes of God and all that.
Yeah. Now I can see, and maybe that's the question. Did you get married in the Catholic Church? Now look, I believe this. If you get married in the Catholic Church, then you got to follow the rules of the Catholic Church, right? But if you don't get married in the Catholic Church, then who gives a shit?
Right?
So the miss says age is no matter. That's good. Dennis will appreciate that. Even Gary, our friend Gary, would appreciate that because he's like 900. So, and he's still looking, but he can't make up his mind if he's coming or going. So
For sure.
it is hard and it's sad. And that's why what we have to do is focus on, for the miss, for men who want to go live in the Philippines. Until the government changes things and allows you guys to go ahead, Mom.
I thought they had some kind of resolution on the books that they hadn't got to yet.
I don't know. You would think with maybe not Duterte, but Marcus being in office now, that maybe
That's who started it, I think. Boom, boom.
would get things better.
Yeah, it's something on the books.
Yeah. She says, it's okay if I will live single. It's okay.
Well,
But, she was married by a judge,
a Catholic judge.
just a judge. you know, um, it's just, I don't know. It's just wrong.
You know what the creed is, right? When you come to the Philippines, don't try to figure nothing out.
Well, let's see. Ronald, you're right. Hey, I'm going to read this. I like this. Well, let me see if I can figure out how to read it. Well, I'm not very smart. It just took, well, you fuckers. Whoops, sorry.
Shut up. I'm liking that shirt you got on.
Thank you. Thank you. You're right, Ronald. There is currently a push for divorce to happen in the Philippines.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's a movement that says that divorce is a human right. And I agree with this. And, because it's almost like imprisonment, not allowing them to get a divorce. You know what I mean? It's almost like human. Maybe they ought to look at it this way. It's almost like human slavery. It's almost like trafficking. It's almost like imprisonment because you've restricted these people's freedom to life. So a mistake that you made at 18 now means that you can never get married. That's just not right.
And then with the doctrine, I don't care what the Catholic doctrine is. I don't care what any religious doctrine is. Number one, and first and foremost, you are a child of God with the free will to do whatever you want. No government can control your free will.
That's correct.
But they try, and they do. Just like the abortion issue here in the States.
Right.
No, Judge, you can't tell me to use mayonnaise when I prefer Miracle Whip. You just can't come up in my house and tell me what to do with my body.
That's exactly.
But they try.
They are.
Well, it took us 50 years to overturn Roe v. Wade. So you're trying to push your doctrine on me when I don't have a say in this? No, because why? Because it's my doctrine and I say so. No, you don't get to get away with that.
Yeah.
But we're not here to talk about that.
Well, we can talk about anything. But the interesting thing is back in August of 21, the Philippine government announced a bill, proposing a bill to the legislation of divorce in the Philippines had been approved by committee. And so I'm trying to see if it's been ratified yet. But part of what they're saying is this. According to this announcement, the Philippines and the Vatican are currently the only two sovereign states in the world that still prohibit divorce. The announcement also explained that the approved bill includes the following grounds that may invoke for filing for divorce. So the country of the Philippines and the Vatican are the only two that doesn't allow divorce. Every other Muslim country and everywhere else allows for divorce, just not the Philippines. And it says here that if you've had the separation from the spouse for at least 5 years at the time that the petition is filed, gender reassignment surgery or transition from one sex to the other by one of the spouses. Okay, that doesn't make sense at all. Marital differences, domestic or marital abuse, a divorce decree obtained abroad, by one of the other spouses. So they're talking about it. But what I think is weird about that, Ronald, is this. Look, it's like, okay, we're doing this because of the religious aspect, but they're going to throw in there, but you could get a divorce if you decide that you're a man versus a woman or a woman versus man. So how does that, I don't know, how does that fit into the religious context of their ideology of the Catholic divorce? I don't know.
I'd have to think about it.
You know, and we're saying you can't get a divorce because, we go with the Catholic Church. But but if we change the law, then we're going to recognize transgender stuff. I don't know.
I don't know. And then they're allowing all these priests to molest these boys. Come on. You can't have it both ways. You got to
No. And that's kind of what I mean. I don't get it. I don't get the logic. James Robinson in the house. James, how are you, my friend? Good to see you. Thank you.
What's up, James?
That's James. James in the house. James in the house.
That's James in California?
Yes, he's out in San Francisco area.
Right.
Miss Pisces is in the house. She sang a song from us earlier. She made Dennis, the Canadian, fall in love with her. So, Dennis says. So, she's giving you the red heart, red face, red heart, shapey thingy. James, how are things in California? We're talking about, we got on the subject of divorce in the Philippines, talking about how it's just not fair to the Philippine women that they can't, I really think it is truly unfair. Now, it's not fair that these women got married at a young age to a piece of shit. And we all know this. Now, I'm going to pick on the Filipino men because I can. And every Filipina that I know, everyone of them, has never had a good thing to say about their Philippine husband or their. They all know that there's a good chance that their guy is out cheating on them or that he's a drunk. And he's just sitting around making the girl do all the work. That's partly why I've been told by so many of them that they like foreign men, because we actually can appreciate the Filipino women and the family values that they bring to the table. So the Philippine men don't really recognize how good the Philippine women are, but us foreigners who are outsiders can easily recognize that being married to a Filipina is not a bad thing at all. But it puts them in a virtual prison, is what it does. It deprives them of human rights, I think. And I think there is more and more of a growing, where did that go?
Trend.
Yeah, trend to recognize, or that's what I was looking at, to recognize that this is a problem. This is a human right violation for these women in the Philippines. And I think that's a good way to do it. So there's a campaign in the Philippines that frames divorce as a basic human right, is gaining momentum despite religious barriers.
Right. Because if you got an abusive husband, you need to get from under it.
That's right.
But then again, we know. Yeah, hey, you got fat or whatever, then you just abandon your 4 kids and go get 2, 3 more kids from another one young Filipina. But then when some foreigner step in, here you want to come and get your husbandly rights back. No, you've been gone too long. That's a Randy Travis song.
Yeah. And here's one of the bad things I'm reading here is Muslim citizens can get a divorce. So if you're married to a Muslim, you can get a divorce in the Philippines.
In the Philippines, yeah.
And that was signed back in 77 by Marcus, sign allowing women married to a Muslim guy to get a divorce. But
Can't do that with an American or a Brit or an Australian or anybody else.
so spend $5,000 for annulment.
Takes years.
Yeah. I mean, I truly agree. It's a human rights violation. All right.
Right. When the
You see-
Filipino government recognizes this is the professor. Yeah, I'm fine in California. When the Filipino government recognized abandonment at 5 years, that should automatically trigger a divorce. Period.
Yeah.
If you can abandon somebody for 5 years and you don't support your kids or your wife, that's grounds for a divorce. What's the holdup?
I agree.
But we make sense, but they don't.
Well, James says hello to all of us. Things are fine in California. So Lexi is in the house. Thank you for being here. She has a YouTube channel too.
I'm already
So Lexi, are you and Miss Pisces buddies on the internet? Kind of got similar channels and stuff. Thank you for the thumbs up and the shout out. We always appreciate that. And you're welcome to join us up on the panel. I can drop you the link here if you like. And that's not the link. That's the wrong link. But I'll drop a link back in here again if I can find it. But I do think, the more I think about it, I truly believe it is a human rights violation. It's almost like an imprisonment.
It doesn't give you free will. It gives you free will. No government, like it's in the Bible, give Caesar's things to Caesar,
yes.
but God things to God.
But the Philippine government, maybe they need to look at it from a financial standpoint. I would look at this from this standpoint. So if we got and we got a lot of them in the Philippines, we got a lot of these women, and I personally know some, I really do, that the husband took off, like you said, is living with some other girl and having babies. I would look at this from a logical standpoint. If I allowed these women to get a divorce and remarry, they could, one, strengthen the Philippine family. Two, they could marry a foreigner, right, who would take them out of the country, which would lessen the burden on the country. But in turn, most Filipinos send money back home to the Philippines so that they can help their family live better. If the family is living better, then they pay more taxes and they buy more goods. So mathematically, it would make sense to let these women go get married to foreigners so that money could come back to the Philippines, right?
It's a win-win.
It's a win-win. They can be happy. And then the Philippines is not the only country in the whole entire world that doesn't allow divorce. I didn't realize that. I thought maybe a couple of small Muslim countries, maybe, but they all do. The Philippines, and understand this, is the only country that doesn't allow divorce unless you're Muslim. How is that right? Just blows my mind.
It just ain't right.
Just ain't right.
Somehow some sadistic diabolical way that the government is using these women to make more babies and have no support from the men that just leave them hanging high and dry, because there's a level of I like to say accountability, or the government cannot function without the proper number of impoverished people. The corporations and the big money, the more poor, the more you make.
Right.
Same here.
Yeah, we got to keep poor people poor in America too. So
Corporations ain't going to make no money if everybody's on an equal plane. How? We have to have, social classes where the rich is here, and then but at the bottom of the pyramid, that's just the way it is.
yeah,
But
that's crazy.
I'm glad Filipino decided to put this thing in here, this new resolution, get it done.
They're trying.
We'll get it done. I mean, they'll be fighting the fractions and shit, but then they got to look at the data.
Yes.
All of these women that get married and they can't get out of this socio-economical nightmare when they're not really providing jobs for the Filipino male in the first place. When you get the cutoff at 30 years old for the females, you can't get a job nowhere without education. They doing it on purpose.
Right.
Because if you don't get educated, you're going to leave anyway. Most don't leave. They stay there.
Yeah.
Work 12 hours, get 350 pesos a day. Who's going to live off of that?
I know.
And all the foreigners are there driving up the prices of everything.
Yeah. I think what has to happen, and I'm not an expert, but I think what the Philippine people, maybe they are, what they need to do and is get human rights organizations in the world. So, we have human rights saying, look, what you're doing to this population is bad. You can't do it. They need these human rights organizations to get on board with this movement for divorce in the Philippines and present it as a bigger human rights issue.
Well, that's easy enough. When you allied with the number one superpower, the USA, we have to come in there and put these conditions on them to be in this coalition. We can't be here unless you accept these human rights violations and eradicate them.
That's correct. So the real question is, why isn't the United States government doing anything about it?
Simple enough. They're like the status quo. If we don't have to, we won't.
You got that right. Unless it puts money in somebody's pocket, then we're not going to do anything.
Right. And on top of that, when you got China, imprisoning all this whole sect of people, but they all up in the Filipino economy, where the civil rights going to come in now? China going to be like, do we pull out?
Right.
Because we pushing for civil, human rights in the Philippines, and you not practicing human rights in your own country.
Right. Yeah.
So I'm not an expert either, but I got some common sense.
Yeah. Well, and to me, it just makes, I don't know, and maybe it's too much common sense. The common sense is, if we can make our population happier, then why wouldn't we do it?
Well, you know why.
Control.
The devil is in the details.
We want to control the population. And this is one of the ways that they use to control the population, to keep these women in check, to make them OFWs, to
push them out. Yep. The devil
Hey, how are you? How are
James,
you?
what's up, James?
How you doing?
Same thing you doing. Looking at you, looking at me.
Yeah, there's a there's a fire going on down uh down the way here. Something's on fire down there. Can't tell
Wow.
what that is.
Oh, that's not good. Are those
Yeah, that's
clouds
that.
or smoke?
Yeah, what'd you say, David?
Is that a bunch of clouds in the air or that smoke in the air?
That's smoke where my finger is pointing. I don't know if you can see.
Yeah, I can see
Um,
the cloud.
yeah, these are clouds here. It's
Just
been
come.
raining in the North Bay, so I'm going to get a bite to eat. I wanted to surprise everybody on the show here. I'm doing laundry at the laundromat.
Don't remind me, James.
Yeah, this is a map of San Francisco right here. It's
Okay.
49 miles square wide. That's that's how it looks.
Ah.
There we go.
Oh, you know that little train line there. It's just me, but it looks like a phallic symbol. They shouldn't put
A
it.
penis? Is that what you're saying?
I ain't saying that. I'm just saying.
Is that what you're saying? It looks a little bit like the Philippines there.
Mm.
You know, with the trees in the street.
Nearby.
Yeah, certain places, yeah.
Yeah, it looks a little bit
Yeah.
like the Philippines.
Look like a longer pole, where they used to house the officers.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Kumusta kaibigan?
Joe's in the house. He's hiding in the background.
Yeah, he over there talking with Jeannie.
Yeah. Yeah. He'd rather talk to his Filipina than he would us. Man.
That's right. I wouldn't talk to me either.
Well, that's why I'm not on the internet on the weekends very much, because Lorelai likes me to spend time with her. So
Yeah, she's spoiled rotten.
she is. Man,
I can't blame her.
she is. Well, James, we're going to be sending you a package here soon. So be on the lookout for it.
Okay. I look forward to it.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you anything more than that. So
No, snap.
he froze up on us.
Yeah, those buildings is blocking that Wi-Fi.
Yes.
And them trees. I'm just sitting here chilling.
Me too. It's Wednesday here. We got to go shopping for Thanksgiving later.
I got a turkey on Friday coming. I have to go to get it.
Here he is. He's back now. You gonna have big plans for Thanksgiving, James and Ronald? Are you guys doing a big thing or simple?
Well, I'm doing simple. It's only me here, but the casino's giving away turkeys, so I'm gonna go get one on
I
Friday.
just went to
Well, we got R2D2.
Yeah, he's breaking up. He's inside the government, probably inside a government building where they censor your phone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're doing more of a Filipino Thanksgiving, I guess.
I know my sister. She's Filipino. She lives right a couple apartments away. Usually, she invites us over for Thanksgiving, and we got food. Just too much food.
Yeah.
I thought about getting one of those Popeye Cajun turkeys, but since the casino is giving me a free one, well, it ain't free. I done paid for it 3 times over.
Yeah, we're not doing a big one either. So.
But I plan on getting it because I done paid for it.
No, I don't blame you there. Yeah. We're just having a few Filipino friends of our lives over, and they're going to be making some whatever. So there he is. He's back now.
Wow,
He's back.
surprised Wi-Fi works in the cafeteria. I mean,
No doubt.
yeah. Let me see.
So we didn't hear you, James. Are you doing anything for Thanksgiving or?
I have nothing planned yet.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just grabbing a quick bite to eat. See, y'all still here. That's good.
They
Yeah.
still haven't come up with the mask that you eat and be covered.
I think he's in a hospital cafeteria.
Ta-da! ¿Cómo está ka? Yeah.
Yeah, I see some scrubs.
Yeah.
Hey.
He's flirting with the Filipina.
I hear.
Ooh, what are you going to eat, James?
Oh, I don't know. Just want
Okay,
to.
Sis, we know you still here. You ain't left yet. You would tell us.
Right.
It's all good.
We appreciate you here, Miss.
Let me see.
We appreciate you listening and all of that good stuff. This is our good friend James out in Southern California. He's showing us the cafeteria over there in Southern California. He's going to get some food for us. He's going to make Ronald and I hungry.
Yeah.
Oh, ¿cómo está ka?
How are you?
Good, good.
I'm gonna have to teach James how to say it proper.
Wow. One thing I know is I can't say it. I just butcher everything.
I'm telling you, we do that American thing. It's just brutal.
Yeah. Yeah. I put too much of an accent, you know.
No, that's what you do. When my third wife's father was still alive, he lived with me for 13 years. So I learned how to put it on there.
No, I mean an American accent.
Oh yeah, that's just brutal.
No, that's what I do. I can't do anything but
You
roll
know,
and laugh with me when I try to speak.
Hey,
when you hear somebody say tag along,
Lisa.
Wala. There's no longer this.
No longer Lisa today?
Wala.
Oh,
Next time.
oh,
oh,
no,
Filipino store.
no. You cook a longer Lisa for me. It's okay. Hey, last time I seen you on the in Judah with your coworker.
Yeah.
Hey, you be careful. You tell your coworker, make sure she has the valid clipper because when the fair inspector is around,
Yeah, I know. I see them before.
yeah,
Long time.
tell.
But they're not good. But they say, pack your card.
Oh, okay,
My friend said the teacher is one time.
okay. Hey, this my friend. Yeah, show they YouTube Philippine American couple.
Oh, okay. Hello.
come on,
Hi,
stop.
how are you? Right away. She's like, oh shit, I gotta go.
I gotta go work, man.
What days they have the longer Lisa?
Oh, no. We have to go to the Filipino store.
Oh man, what before they have it here?
No. There's no longer this again.
Oh, okay. They say where you from?
Huh?
They say where you from?
Batangas.
Batangas.
Yeah. It's about South Luzon. Luzon.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you like now?
You're single, ready to mingle?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let me see here. I'm gonna
Macaroni and
take a
cheese.
show. Oh, ¿cómo está my friend? How you doing? Good.
I see eggs.
Yeah. Oh,
He's from Burma.
Burma. Yeah, that's a nice country.
Burma. Yeah, he's not.
Yeah,
good.
I'm gonna take a to-go tray. One scoop of eggs, two sausage, and two bacon and tater tots.
Well,
Wow.
where's this place at, James?
Hey, one is from Cebu, and the other one is from
Close to Manila. Not
yeah,
Manila.
not Manila. No.
Cebu? Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you on your break?
No, I'm gonna check first. I have to go get something.
Oh, I was gonna buy that for you.
No, no.
Oh, okay. See, okay. See,
Ronald's wanting to know what the name of the place is. Where are you at?
all right.
Inside a hospital?
He's at the hospital, I think.
I see all the drugs.
Yeah. I'm just grabbing a quick bite to eat, and I'm gonna phone down and do my laundry. I'm in the drying part.
It must be nice.
There's nothing good at the other place.
Ah,
Yeah. It's a pit stop up the hill. I got to find out what's burning down there by Mission Rock, AT&T, Pac Bell Park. That's where the San Francisco Giants play. I've seen all that black smoke up in the air. Yeah. All right.
You need a receipt.
Oh, no receipt. Thank you.
maybe if it has a lot of black smoke, maybe it's a car fire.
Yeah. Who knows? Let me see.
Tires and petroleum products like that burn black.
Oh yeah, that's an industrial area down here. Yeah, so sorry for the short conversation. Wish it was longer.
It's all gravy.
Oh, hey, there she is again. I'm not going to bother her on the break.
Oh, I know. I'm gonna make it.
Somebody thinks she's beautiful and wonderful.
Yeah, that's a Philippine American
Filipino.
couple. Yeah, look it up on YouTube.
Okay.
Yeah. He try to.
Make YouTube.
No. He talk about the Philippines and
Is it
Americans and get married. Yeah. No, he's visiting Cebu.
Oh, good for you. I never even visit Cebu.
Yeah, me either.
No, I don't know Cebu.
Yeah, I don't know Cebu.
I'm from Philippines. I heard Cebu, but I never been there.
Oh, okay. All right, see you later. Have a good
Okay,
day.
take care, my friend.
All right, now I can show you the train.
Yeah, let's see.
He wanted to see the train here, so.
Glad you know your way out of that way.
Yeah.
Good. Another turn. Oh, we can escape.
You got stuck again. Got caught in the elevator.
The damn X-ray machines. That's like dead radio.
So Miss Pisces needs an American man who doesn't mind a child who would like to move to the Philippines. That's good. So we
Okay.
need to find her a guy. Here we go. We'll find you a boyfriend, Miss Pisces.
Like a corned beef in my teeth. Well, I only have 9 teeth left, David.
Oh man.
I still got the stitches from, 9 days ago?
So you got a projection when you're going to try to go back for the Philippines?
I'm looking at June, July 20th.
Okay. Yeah, I would encourage you to make sure that you're healed up, that you're rested up before you do it. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going in there half-baked.
Yeah. You know, that was one of the problems we did when we went. I still had my foot in a cast. You
Oh.
know. There he is.
I'm sorry about that. Trying to use the Wi-Fi. It didn't really work that well.
It's all right. San Francisco.
Yep. So this is the train that your co-host was talking about.
Yeah.
It's going to go on the other side of the hill.
So that's the famous transportation in San
Yeah,
Francisco
that's
City, right? On the TV shows and things, the train.
Same thing in San Diego.
yeah.
We don't have anything like that here.
Yeah. You don't have to deal with earthquakes either.
Not, not
We
since,
do it in Washington.
actually, we had an earthquake here about 20 years ago. I actually got to feel it. Maybe it was 15 years ago. So we actually had a small earthquake here about 15 years ago. But you're right. On a normal basis,
Going in the tunnel.
that's the east portal. So do you like living in San Francisco?
Yeah, as far as the freedom, I'm born and raised in a native, so it's a dog-friendly city, and you can bring your dogs with you, and most of the businesses here, the restaurants, and all that such. So it's pretty liberal, pretty liberal.
No, thanks to Pelosi.
If you could live in another city, what would it be? Where would you?
Oh, I'd say
Thanks.
where you are, David.
Northwest Arkansas?
Yeah,
Wow. A lot of people like it here.
yeah. You don't have to worry about any major gridlock with traffic and earthquakes and fires and uh
Yeah, and I'm sure compared to San Francisco, our cost of living's better. You
Oh,
know,
oh yeah.
big
but
time.
how about you, Ronald? Where would you live in the U.S. if you could live anywhere in the U.S.?
It would have to be nowhere.
You'd prefer the Philippines?
Exactly.
There you go.
Nowhere. Because if I opt out for Arizona, we got windstorms and flooding. If I opt out for Florida, we got earthquakes and freezing.
Yeah.
No, there's no in between. Philippines, I can take the rain all day.
Yeah, I'm with you there. I can handle the heat in the Philippines. Is good. I told somebody the heat is a big plus for me in the Philippines.
You for me too. You see, I don't think I caught you when I was there. I was in there wearing this robe in the Philippines, in
Wow.
the apartment, outside, the whole nine. I'm like, I'm a heat freak.
Yeah, I like the heat. So we're better off in the heat. You know,
I have no problem with the heat. I don't even sweat.
oh, I sweat.
Mm,
But then after a while, you kind of get used to it, and so that factors down. You know
yeah,
what I mean? You kind of get used to it.
I
But
don't even sweat.
it's
I'm
it's a
like,
good thing. It
I was
is.
shocked myself when I got there. I was like, I got there May 2nd, and I got in Manila Airport, and then I went to Cavite. I'm like, how come I'm not sweating? Because that's what I came for, the heat. I only turned the aircon on maybe 5, 6 times,
Yeah.
and that's it. That was
And
at
so,
night.
where are you going to go back to when you go back?
I'm going back to Pampanga.
Okay.
Be right around there. That's where all the boys are. We got Dice and Will there right now. I don't know if Robert's coming up. Prime Gaddeth is supposed to be coming later sometime. Just to visit. He's not staying, of course. He wants to go back to Dublin.
Yeah.
But I'm staying because everything else is there already. I'm only
Well,
here
we
for
may go back next year for a visit. We haven't decided. Lorelai and I, we may go back next year for a visit.
Yeah, I mean, gotta do it. I mean, I'm in Papuanga.
We've been there so much. There's so many other places we'd like to go, but we're thinking about buying another piece of property, a house and a lot there, to use as a rental property. So we're thinking about that. But I'd also like to go on a nice cruise. So we'll just have to kind of wait and see. But
I'm
we're
just,
hoping to move next year too to Alabama.
oh, you leaving Arkansas to Alabama.
Oh yeah, yeah, better weather, better fishing. So
I
yeah,
understand.
we're looking at that.
I understand.
So,
My heart is set on Philippines. I don't care what. None now.
that's good. I tell everybody, you got to do what you want to do. You know what I mean? It makes you happy.
Get my
Guys, it's been a little bit over 2 hours. So I only try to do 2 hours as always. So Ronald, we appreciate you. Joe, Miss Spices, James, Alexa, the old Canadian, everybody that was here today, a lot of you guys. We appreciate you all. We will be back next Wednesday at 9 a.m. like now. So this is 11 a.m. here. So 9 a.m. is when we start. But we appreciate everybody. Connect with everybody, stay in touch, and we appreciate you guys. Ronald, we'll probably see you on Friday.
Mabuhay.